Alright, ebuson mu bibia kwa ban fambra 2K news and blood so wo YouTube so say ebuson for ya ba as usual ensem ahodo a ekoso organize no ana de beso mehefo ene atifo nya na ebuson me say no de tenyina nse we news we efa the new patriotic party meche NPP amonyoku no eho na nipa no ho ensem ababe kan ye nsa no so eye chese Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia ebuson ne tintin ne tie atwa nyina ne say yese chese Bawumia nensa eye corruption bia enya asem ketua ase ama sese mi no kase no NDC for eye wona o mayi o mo so o mo ne da nwumaku ahodo biare ene ne o ma bia no etimi aduadua ma bibi makwa akoye se Bawumia sese won so ho aka adwam wa bra che so modi nkan acheche mpanfo bi no se Bawumia sese ono so ho aka adwam abiso am person ka so etenten krebeko nya kwa akwaji sansem nya enchemu ede aba betina se ne de ho enkomote de se no make us wadaroma so nya subscribe from my YouTube channel ya now don't sabo subscribe button so you are now the bell notification icon so to be next time bia no me drop video na on aka video no bi enten so me din ede kwam gentle
SML, this one.
I think that's a yes because
yes.
OSP had initiated ambulance spare parts deal.
It's the Minister of Health
is looking into that.
No, it's part of this thing that Oral had done some work on, and okay, so Oral have done some extensive work.
Yeah,
that file has been given to the Minister for Attorney General, who is reviewing and doing all processes on it.
13th African Games.
Part of Oral report.
Skytrain, Pualugu, Masset distribution.
The board chairman was recently arrested. So
Sputnik V.
Yes.
Boss scandal.
Yes.
All those are being looked into already. I see. We can't wait to hear a little bit.
I can't wait for us to start arresting them though. I cannot wait. I want to see them being arrested. I want to see every one of President Akufo-Addo's appointee who have stolen from this country being arrested, and they will be arrested. In fact, 20% of Ghanaians who voted for us, who are not NDC, who are not, the 20% of the 47, what percentage did we get again?
In terms of what percentage?
Our total vote, 57%.
Yeah, about 58%.
A chunk of the people who voted for us are waiting for us to imprison or arrest persons who have stolen from this country. Okay, so
and do you think you're living up to that expectation?
When the government fully establishes, you will see action in this town. You will see real action when government fully establishes. Right now, when you arrest them, you go to CID department, they have packed the place with MPP people. You go to all over the place, NIB, it hasn't been properly, we are dealing with all of these other crimes jointly with national security. So by the time we fully kick off, everybody will be brought. So that objective is a national one. It's not President Mahama's objective. It's a national interest, including the grassroots of MPP. Because all the information we have had came from the MPP grassroots.
I see.
Who tell us that this minister has stolen this minister has put this property in his girlfriend's name.
You're getting the information
This minister has stolen a car and parked it here. This minister has bought this property, but it's in the name of this person. All from MPP grassroots members. So this objective, this drive, it's not just a thing of NDC. It's not a thing of myself sitting here. It's the whole country believing that there is evidence to suggest that there's some stealing have gone on. And persons who have seemed to have been engaged in this should be brought to book.
So, in terms of your 120-day social contract, we're still counting down to that 120 days. How many of the 26 promises do you think that you have achieved?
I will sum it to say that I'm very proud that I'm serving under President Mahama. And I mean, if you know my views, I'm not saying this because I'm NDC or I'm an appointee of government. What is right is right. This country have actually been relief of lychee individuals who, like vultures, feed on the carcass of our country and they dissipate national resources. I think the country have been freed from that pressure. I also see a solid foundation that is being laid. I'm not saying that the problem of the ordinary Ghanaian post-December have been resolved.
I mean, Mustafa, I've heard that. But
Yes.
what I'm asking is very much direct. You gave us 26 promises. How many of those promises do you think you have?
Almost all of it have been achieved.
Almost all.
Almost.
Oh, but
So today, within 3 months, you should be happy because of the exigencies and the need of this country. Within 3 months, a government is 80% formed. So would one expect that we just read a budget, okay? The economy is crushed, totally crushed. The finance minister is required to, kick in fiscal policies and measures to lay a foundation on which the government will move. So even though budget have been read and Parliament have approved the budget, real funding hasn't gone to ministries and agencies. Number two, boards have not been, constituted yet.
But what's the holdback? Why can't the president appoint?
No, but I'm just saying that formation of government takes processes. And I have told you at least 3 past governments, the periods within which they formed government. And this President Mahama have used 3 months to shrink the periods to just 3 months. And we are going to the 4th month. And already you can see the positives of the government. I think that we should be happy without having the conversation to say, I know that we have a problem, a challenge of trust when it comes to luncheon and all the things that refer that come.
I mean, so what you're telling the Ghanaian people is that because of the state of the country that the NDC inherited,
yes,
that is why you're having to rebuild foundations for certain things.
We are laying a foundation,
yes,
but with speed as compared to the past.
Yeah, but that's the point I'm making.
Where we have reached now,
that's
where we are now, you couldn't have gone past where we are.
What I'm saying is that the Ghanaian would question why, having been in a position for 8 years, having questioned and criticized the government during that period, and even proposed alternatives to the problems and how the government of the day was running it. When you get the opportunity to be in office, it's not now that you are going to lay foundation.
Yes, when you have good dreams, the execution of your dreams will have to be on the taxpayers' burden or responsibility. It means that there are some regulatory measures that you must respect to put in place. Without those measures in place, you cannot just go and say, I want to do Nkuko Nkiti. I am in power, so begin to do, It must come with some implementation structures. And without same, you cannot execute. But the speed at which we have come this far, that today the country already have full complement of 56 ministers and deputy ministers. The country has full complement, almost CEOs who are already doing, investigation at their various agencies. They are doing stock taking and all sort of things that have occurred in the past. Just so we come up to speed with what have happened in the previous government, then we start all other things. You should be happy that we are where we are now. But you see, the government that will not perform, you will see it out of its formation. We have had the past where the president stood in front of the cameras and told you, Kano Foriata, he is schooled in Yale. He is this, he is intelligent. And one week, did he come from heaven? Were there no human beings who were at the Ministry of Education who foresaw the implementation of the free SHS, under which we have scandals of ghost names, teachers who are taking money from the state, but you can't find the schools they teach, okay? The scandals as far as feeding the students are concerned, all of this one was happening. ICT, they said free internet in secondary schools. Individuals were being paid, but yet there was no single internet in any secondary school. But today, you see Harun Adusu reviewing all of these things for the betterment of free SHS, if it is that, and our educational system in general. And you think that this is not a government that is assuring. And I just told you under Minister of Agric, you saw and experienced 8 years of a scam called Planting for Food and Jobs, a Ponzi scheme Today you have seen, within 3 months, a launch of Feed Ghana. But 3 months, 90 days or 100 days, government have launched this. And that government is not assuring. You have a government that have come to meet, structured, incentivized crimes. And the government is fighting and exposing these crimes. And you think it's not reassuring? Today, you, a journalist, can criticize a government and you can go and sleep freely without having to be worried that some person is coming to kill you, and you are thinking that under that president is not assuring, when in the last 100 days under President Akufo-Addo, you can't go and talk about him without having to be worried about who is coming after you. Under President Akufo-Addo, business people, ordinary Ghanaians doing their business, cannot be guaranteed that their proposals will give them business because somebody is busy trying to empower his clan. Today, President Mahama says, I'm for all Ghanaians. And you think that is not assuring in 100 days. I am very persuaded, and I know, and we are going to help President Mahama to succeed. Each time a government misbehaves, our laws are such that the president goes to sit in the house and usually is free. Okay? But thousands and millions of the ordinary Ghanaian are displaced. So we should not be in the game of competing how many scandals have come out and how many things have we heard, but the quality of it, how reassuring are these policies, the feasibility of it. MPP under President Akufo-Addo, and in the first 100 days, we are confronted head on